What's up everyone, today we're going to be making an enemy follow script that is based on rigid bodies and can be used to make a physics-based enemy. It's super easy to write, super modular, and it doesn't necessarily have to follow the player. It can follow any object that you assign it to, but for now I'm just going to assign it to a player. And speaking of the player, you should already have a character in there or that you want to use. So I have a first person character controller in here. I can look around, jump, move with WASD. So I have my character, but I don't have the enemy. If you already have an enemy model or an enemy that you would like to use, just keep that there. I don't have an enemy, so I'm gonna get our friend Bean over here. Call him Bean. And make him red. And Bean can't see right now because he doesn't have eyes. So let's give him some eyes. Okay, perfect. Bean can see. Okay. And now we've got our enemy ready. So let's get our enemy and let's go into its inspector and just add a rigid body. And make sure under the constraints tab you check off all the axes for freeze rotation, but not freeze position. Don't do freeze position. Just check off all the axes for freeze rotation. The next thing you want to do is go over to your player and under where it says tag, click on it, and it's untagged right now. Just click on the player tag so it should say tag player. And that's all you need for now in the Unity. So let's just go ahead and create the script. Let's call it enemy and let's open it up. Okay, now that Visual Studio is opened up, you can use any editor, obviously. We should start by assigning some variables. So let's get a public transform called target, and this is going to be what the enemy is going to follow. So it doesn't necessarily have to be your player, it can just be a target that the enemy has to follow. Let's get a public float called speed, and let's set that to like 4. So now the enemy will move at a speed of 4 units per second, or just any speed. And let's also get a public rigid body called RB. And if you want to use animations with this, you can. And for that you would just do public animator called anim. And then just get the component in the start function and just play the animations you want to play. If you want a further explanation on animations, you can make another video for that. But for now, we're not going to get into animations because you can't really animate a bean. So, yeah. Now, let's hop over to the start function and assign RB. So, RB equals get component rigid body and target equals game object dot find with tag player. And at the end, don't forget this, but put dot transform and then semicolon. Now, what this RB is doing is it's saying the rigid body RB, get the component from the enemy, get a component called rigid body, and that's what RB is. So whenever we reference RB later on in the script, we'd be referencing the rigid body of the enemy. And right here, what we're saying is the target variable, we're assigning it to any game object that has the tag player. So we're going to find a game object with the tag player and its position. So that's what the target is. The target is the position of any game object that has the tag player. So it doesn't have to be the tag player, but remember before on the player we assigned the player's tag to player. So we put player here. If you want your tag, or you want your enemy to find something with the tag ground and you just want it to go to the ground all the time, then you could change this to ground. But for now we're going to keep it at player because we want it to follow our player. Now we can hop over to our update function and change it to a fixed update, and then create a vector3 variable called pose, which is just an abbreviated way of saying position. And then do vector3.move towards transform.position target.position and speed times time dot fixed delta time, and then end it off with a semicolon. What this is saying is it's creating a new vector3 variable called position, and it's moving towards, it's taking the position of the enemy and it's finding the position of the target and moving towards it at a speed that we assigned over here. Next, we do rb.move position to pose. So this just got all the data that it needs to move to, and what this line does is it actually implements that data and actually moves the enemy towards the player. And last but not least, we put transform.lookAtTarget. So the enemy will constantly be looking at us no matter where we go. Or else if we went behind him, he would walk backwards in order to find us. But now he'll always be looking at us. And that's all we need in the script. And the script is really modular, so you can modify it in any way you want. Like I said with the animations, and if you want, you can put it so that it's on a trigger enter, and there's a vicinity that you have to be in order to have the enemy follow you. But for now, we're just gonna have this, and if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. And also, the script will be linked in the description on my GitHub. So let's hop back into Unity. Okay, once we're back in Unity, we go to our enemy, which is Bean in this case, and we drag the enemy script down into it. And you'll see that on target it says none, and RB it says none. You can just leave them like that, since we already assigned what target and RB is in the start function. So you don't have to drag the rigid body of the enemy or the target into these slots. So now if you hit play, you'll see the enemy will start to follow. Also, you'll see that the target and the RB have already assigned themselves without having to do anything. So they automatically just get assigned. Okay, I wanted to try this. Let's see what happens if we make the speed. Oh no. Oh no. No, no. And yeah, that's basically the script. It works on anything. And let's just say you didn't want it to follow a player and you wanted it to follow a cube. You could first, you have to take the player tag off of that, and then go to this cube and put the player tag on that. And now if you hit play, you'll see that the enemy walks towards the cube and
hey yo, hey yo, hey yo.
And that's why we don't make enemies follow cubes. So let's make him follow us again. And yeah, as you can see, if we jump, he'll look up at us. So if we go close to him and jump, he'll look up, and no matter which way we are rotating, he'll constantly be looking at us. And yeah, that's the script. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.